everyone, and welcome to DiSanto Field on the campus of Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio, University Circle area of Cleveland, Ohio. And tonight we have men's soccer action on the docket as the Case Western Reserve University Spartans will host their cross-county non-conference rivals, the John Carroll University Blue Streaks. John Carroll comes into this road contest with a 5-1-2 overall record. They have, after rattling off 4 straight wins, are coming off back-to-back ties, first at home to Ohio Wesleyan and then on the road last Saturday at Lycoming in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. The Case Western Reserve University Spartans come in with a 4-2-1 record. They have won 2 of their last 3 after defeating Stockton 3-2 and Marietta 2-0, both at home. They traveled to Denison last Saturday and had a 1-1 tie on their record. The lone losses have come by 1 goal each, first to Otterbein on August 30th at home, and then on September 13th they lost to Trine 1-0 also at home. In non-conference play, Case is 4-2-1. They are 2-2 at home. Those 2 wins coming against Stockton and Marietta. John Carroll, 3-1-1 at home, 2-0-1 away from home. That 1 tie coming last weekend again on Saturday at Lycoming. The teams have just about finished their warm-ups and have taken to their respective benches on the opposite side of the field here at DiSanto Field. Case Western will be in their home whites with blue numerals and blue lettering with blue trim down the sides of the jerseys, while the John Carroll University Blue Streaks will be in blue with white numerals and lettering and gold trim down the sides and around the numbers of the jerseys. Taking a look at the schedule ahead after getting done with the number 24 ranked John Carroll Blue Streaks, the Case Western Reserve University Spartans will continue their 3-game homestand on a Saturday afternoon with a 1:30 kickoff against the Mount Union Purple Raiders, and then they will open University Athletic Association play on Saturday, October 5th at 1:30 p.m. against New York University, and then they will be on the road and alternate road and home games basically for the end of the till the end of the season, with back-to-back road contests at Chicago and WashU and St. Louis on the 25th and 27th, and then home to Brandeis and Carnegie Mellon on the 3rd and the 9th to end the regular season. The officials leading the teams onto the field. Taking a look at the starting lineups first for the John Carroll University Blue Streaks, starting on defense. Number 3, Daniel Kalick. Starting at midfield, number 5, Nick McCulick. At midfield, number 7, Logan Penton. At midfield, number 10, Nicholas Greca. At forward, number 11, Jaden Wright. On defense, number 18, Nathan Monastra. At midfield, number 21, Hayden Hafner. At forward, number 23, Jeremy Wanderley. On defense, number 27, Isaac Coleman. At midfield, number 30, Lewis Roseberry. And in goal, number 99, Dominic Grobla. The head coach, Dejan Mladenovic. He's assisted by Ante Pilikic. Now taking a look at your starters for the Case Western Reserve University Spartans. Starting off in goal will be number 1, Bradley Winter. On defense, number 2, Philip Washington. On defense, number 4, Cormac Apostolides. At midfield, number 6, Camden Larson. At midfield, number 7, Lucas Delakis. At forward, number 8, Kyson Kroger. At midfield, number 10, Kellen Landefeld. On defense, number 13, Cameron Thayer. At midfield, number 20, Amir Awaz. On defense, number 23, Josh Cook. And on defense, number 25, Daniel Sandall. The Spartans are coached by Carter Poe, who is in his 5th season leading the Spartan program. Winter will play in his 5th game for the Spartans this season. He's played 360 minutes in goal and allowed just 2 to reach behind the net. He's made 9 saves, has a save percentage of .818, and has a 2-1-1 record with 2 shutouts. Now we're going to step aside for the national anthem. The Case Western Reserve University Spartans will start with possession of the ball tonight. And they will be going right to left across your screens here in the first half. John Carroll will be going left to right. Again, Case in a white with blue trim and blue numerals. John Carroll in blue uniforms with white numerals and a gold trim. A pass down the field is going to be a little too long. It'll be headed out of bounds by one of the blue streaks, and sending it out is Kalick. So it'll be a throw in for the Spartans. Throw-in gets into the box, but gets headed out by two blue streaks. Now a quick one-time attempt by the Spartans. It gets blocked and chased down by John Carroll, but it'll be sent over to one of the Spartans. Good crossing pass right there. Just a little bit too long, and now John Carroll will send it sky high into the lights and out of bounds, and nearly into the outdoor atrium here at the Village at 115th. The dorms over on this side of the Case Western Reserve University campus. The Spartans with the throw-in in possession. They'll take it across midfield and regroup and now send it back across midfield. And John Carroll with a nice takeaway right at the midfield stripe. They'll drop it back into the defensive end before it's lofted down the field and headed away by the Spartans. It'll get sent back to Winter in goal. He'll stop it in the box and send it over to one of his teammates. Now it gets sent back. It's a back and forth two-man game slowly up the field as Josh Cook and Apostolides will trade back and forth. John Carroll with a step on goal and rocketing a shot in that Winter saves. Good save right there by Winter. That was a point-blank shot for John Carroll, and Winter came up with the excellent save. Timeout on the field as we have a Spartan that is down right near midfield. He's being attended to by the medical staff. A shot on goal by the Blue Streaks was Jaden Wright. He's their co-leader in goals scored. He's one of 3 players with 3 goals on the year. He's also the team leader in points with 8, and he has those 3 goals on just 9 shots. That's a young man that when the ball's on his foot, you have to know where he is at all times. Also looked like one of the John Carroll players was having a uniform situation being taken care of. And it looks like he's all ready to go. And we're back underway as Winter will roll it over to Cook. Cook sends it off right side and gets it right back. As CWRU has checked in for the Spartans. He replaced an injured teammate. Lead pass up the right side of the field. It's headed out of bounds by Kalick of the Blue Streaks. The Spartans will have another throw in on the attack side of the field. Lob into the box. Clears everybody, and an infraction called against the Spartans, so John Carroll will get a free kick. Carroll trying to get the ball across midfield. Wright gets tangled up with one of the Spartans, and the ball will be last touched by the Spartans. It'll be a throw in for the Blue Streaks right in front of Case's bench. Collision going to the ball, and the Case Western Reserve player, that's Cook, hits the deck but draws the foul against John Carroll, and they will take possession now, the Spartans will, from the Blue Streaks. It'll be sent back to Winter. Winter up to Cook. Cook wearing the captain's armband on his left arm. Senior defender is out of Johnstown, Ohio, Johnstown Monroe High School. It's taken away by the Blue Streaks. That's Greco with it on his foot. Left-footed shot from the left side of the box is saved by Winter, and it cleared out by Cook. It'll be a throw-in for the Blue Streaks. And once again, the Blue Streaks will get a throw-in. This Case is last to touch before it goes out. It's sent up the field by the Spartans, but once again, it's out of bounds. So another throw-in for John Carroll. It's headed towards the net, and it will squirt on by all the way to Winter, and he will scoop it up and walk everybody out of his box before rolling it over to his right. Now it gets dropped back to Winter. Just over 5.5 minutes gone in this first half of action. We are scoreless. John Carroll with the only 2 shots on goal. The down the field pass clears everybody. It's tracked down by John Carroll and then sent back to the John Carroll goalkeeper, Grobler, and he sends it up the midfield, and now it's taken away by Philip Washington of the Spartans. It gets sent up to Larson. Camden Larson back to Washington. Washington on the near side. Drops it back to Cook. Gets a one-touch pass right back to him. Washington now sends it over to Larson. Larson has his pocket picked as he's surrounded by 3 Blue Streaks. So Washington drops back and forces the pass by John Carroll. And it will be nearly taken away by Case. Just a little overrun situation by Landefeld. And now a long lead pass is headed out of bounds by the Spartans. And it'll be a throw-in for the Blue Streaks. That'll be Penton who will handle it on the near side. He gets it in right on the DiSanto Field logo to Greca. And it's taken away by the Spartans deep in their own territory. Sent up the field. And it'll be tracked down by a ways, and now taken away by right of the Blue Streaks. He'll send a pass left to Roseberry. Roseberry trying to find a driving lane, has to send it out to near midfield. And it will be sent now near side to Menastra. Menastra will drop it back to Kalick. He'll cross it back to the middle of the field. And it will get sent up once again to Menastra on the near side. Oh, gets cycled around to Greca. Greca drops it back once more, this time to Isaac Coleman. Coleman reverses field to Roseberry, and it's stolen away by one of the Spartans. And somehow Case keeps it in bounds in front of its own bench. And the Blue Streaks trying to take it away, but the Spartans are there to walk it up the field. Good hustle play to get the ball across midfield. Now it gets dropped back for Washington. Washington swings it near side. Now gets it right back. Washington drops it 35 yards back to Winter, who has Wright approaching, and Winter will loft it deep down the field, and offsides is the call, as one of the Spartans was behind the last defender. And we will have a free kick situation for the Blue Streaks. And quickly they get it back underway. Cross-field pass back to Monastra. It's going to be stolen away by Washington. Washington sends it across the midfield stripe and to Landefeld. But the Blue Streaks quickly get it back now. And working against the double team in front of the Case bench. The pass gets slipped to right. Right busts out of another double team as it's taken away, poked away from behind before it's sent into the John Carroll bench. And it will be a throw in for the Blue Streaks. He'll get sent all the way back to the keeper. That's Grobla, who will send it up the near side. Now it's up to Penton. Penton drops it back. It's back to the defense now for the Blue Streaks. They'll play a two-man game, looking for an open spot to pick before sending it down the field where it's headed away by the Spartans. And one-touch pass across midfield gets it to one of the Blue Streaks, but the Spartans now in pursuit after poking the ball away. It's still held by the Blue Streaks, and that's Monastra with it. He slips it up to right and gets it right back. Monastra into the corner, has it taken away by Lucas DeLakis. He sends it out, but the Blue Streaks able to keep it on the attack side of midfield. Long lead pass, just a little too long. It's taken away by the Spartans. Landefeld with it. He'll drop it back. Apostolides will send it back to Winter. Now Winter will send it up the field where Washington will try to track it down, but he'll let it go out as it was last touched by the Blue Streaks. Cook with it. Has it taken away by John Carroll on a pass. Now from the top of the box, one of the Blue Streaks loses their footing. That was Hafner, who was trying to set himself up for what looked like a left-footed shot, but lost his balance. Nonetheless, the Blue Streaks will get possession back before the Spartans will get tangled up, and an infraction is called against the Blue Streaks. So that will turn the ball over to the Spartans once more. And a free kick from the 11-yard line on the football field, so just outside of the box. And it looks like Case is going to call for a clear out and have everybody downfield and have a goalkeeper, Winter, send it down, and he puts a great boot into it. It gets to the opposite 30 where it's headed away by one of the Spartans. Now the John Carroll Blue Streaks will take it back up the field. Washington's there to knock it out of bounds, forcing the throw in for John Carroll. Monastra will handle that duty. Just underneath the press box viewing area here at DiSanto Field. Monastra looking for an outlet. He's taking a long time before he lofts it towards right. It's headed out and now to Cook, and he sends it back to midfield. It'll be sent right back across by the Blue Streaks, but it's taken away once more by the Spartans. Now a good battle ensues before John Carroll rockets the ball into its own bench, and it'll be a throw-in for the Spartans. Beautiful night for soccer here in downtown Cleveland as the Spartans host the Blue Streaks. The Spartans of Case Western Reserve looking for their 5th win of the year. The 24th ranked John Carroll University Blue Streaks looking for their 6th victory as John Carroll sends it into its own bench once more. Another throw in for the Spartans. Absolutely beautiful facility here at DiSanto Field, surrounded by world-class dormitories for the students here at Case Western Reserve. Another throw in coming up for the Spartans. Throwing gets its way into the box. It's kicked out by John Carroll. Given chase is DeLakis, one of the other captains for the Case Western Reserve University Spartans. It's sent out along the goal line, so that will result in a goal kick for John Carroll. Groblau will send it down, and it gets volleyed back and forth before the Spartans will track it down, try to get it across midfield. Once again, they'll retake possession on their defensive side before sending it across the midfield stripe and out of bounds for a throw-in. And Monastra will handle it once more for the Blue Streaks. Lofts it down the field looking for right. It's headed away by the Spartans. Ends up on the left foot of Washington. He right foots it up the field, but it's taken away once more by John Carroll. Monastra finds it and sends it back across midfield. He'll drop it back once more for Coleman. Coleman sends it down the field. One of the Blue Streaks in hot pursuit, but the Spartans will send it out of bounds. And it'll result in a throw-in for John Carroll. The Spartans drop back in a good defensive alignment to take the ball away from the hard-charging Blue Streaks. And it gets sent down the field, near midfield, and a foul is signaled against the Blue Streaks as one of the Spartans and Blue Streaks got tangled up. And that will result in a free kick right at midfield. "17 minutes gone in the first half. No score. John Carroll with the only 2 shots on goal. The Spartans looking to change that right now as they take the ball deep into John Carroll territory, but it's taken away once more by the Blue Streaks. It's cleared up to right, and he has to track it down about 15 yards away from where he initially touched it, but he will. Now it's headed back by the Spartans, just out of the reach of Kyson Kroger. Now the Spartans will take it away once more. Good bit of footwork right there to keep possession. That was Larson on the take up the field before it was taken away by the Blue Streaks. Now Case will track it back down on their defensive side of midfield. Apostolides now with it. Left foot's a pass up the field and gets it right back on one touch from a ways. Now Apostolides in the far left corner of the field, and it's knocked out by the Blue Streaks, and that should be the first corner of the game for either team, as the Spartans will now have the corner. And doing the honors is Kellen Landefeld, the 5'8", 150-pound graduate student midfielder from Livonia, Michigan. and Stevenson High School, as well as Michigan State University. Very crowded area around Grobla, the John Carroll goalkeeper. It's headed out by one of the Spartans. Case trying to dig to keep control, and they will track the ball down once more. That is Larson with it. Larson trying to slip a pass to a teammate, and with a nice slide tackle, keeps possession very momentarily as the Spartans will turn it over to the Blue Streaks, and the official will give John Carroll a free kick. Free kick sent up to McCulick, and it gets reversed left side, I should say. Now it's coming back to the right side where Kalick has possession. Kalick sends it to Menastra. And it gets slipped back to Greca. Coleman will send it across midfield. The one-touch pass, forcing Case to come out of its defensive alignment and slide tackle the ball closer to midfield before the Blue Streaks retake possession. Now it gets sent near side, and overrunning it just a bit was Wonderly. It gets dropped back once more to Kalick. And back up to Greca. Long lead pass will go out, and that will result in a goal kick for the Spartans. It's the first goal kick for the Spartans in this first half. Winter sends it to the right of his goal, and it'll be sent back left to Cook. Cook sends it back right side. Now it gets sent past midfield, but right to a Blue Streak. Now Cook will head it away on the long lead pass before it's run down by Greca. Greca drawing two defenders, and another goal kick coming up. Credit Apostolides for never giving up on the ball. He dropped back and really made it hard for Greca to turn the corner. It looks like Apostolides has gone to the official and say, I've got a spot of blood coming up from either an errant elbow or other contact with one of the Blue Streaks, and he will take a long walk to the Case Western Reserve University sideline. We wish him the best. Hopefully he's able to get patched up and can return. Coming on for Apostolides very quickly is number 3, Ian Mance. He's a 5'8", 150-pound sophomore defender from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, East Chapel Hill High School. Winter on the goal kick for the Spartans. Sends it right to midfield. Sailed past Washington and bounced off of him before one of the Blue Streaks takes it over and draws the foul from Washington. So John Carroll will try to quick set the free kick, and it is last touched by the Spartans and will result in a corner kick for John Carroll. That's their first corner of the game. And it'll be Logan Penton, the senior midfielder from Vermillion High School, the former Sailor, who will do the honors. Fenton sends it in, and it's punched out, literally two-hand punched out by Winter. about 25 yards away from the goal. 35 yards away from the goal, I should say. But the Blue Streaks will retain possession. Now a crossing pass taken away. This time by Mans, and he'll send it all the way down across midfield before it goes out of bounds. It'll be another throw-in coming up for the Blue Streaks. Manastra will handle the duties. Tried to quick catch the Spartans, but one of his teammates wasn't paying attention, so he had to readjust the plan a couple times before he gets it one touch back to him. McCulick will send it back to him. Now drops it across midfield before John Carroll will reset and re-tee up an attack. A long lead pass tracked down by Mans. John Carroll holds possession. A shot attempt is blocked near the top of the box by one of the Spartans as Hafner put his right foot into it and tried to slip it opposite corner to Winter's cage, or Winter's net, I should say, but it was blocked by one of the Spartans, and now Case will move the ball across midfield. Good one-touch pass, and some ball handling leads the pass across midfield to Washington. Washington with the ball on his right foot, now sends it up the field. That's DeLakis who has it. DeLakis drops it back to Mans. Mans with the right foot tries to get into the box. It's headed towards the net, and it's just to the right of the keeper, out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Blue Streaks, but it's the best opportunity for the Spartans thus far today, as John Carroll has limited them quite a bit on the defensive side of the ball. Grobla with it, sends it down the field. Now a foul is committed by the Spartans, and it should be a free kick coming up for the Blue Streaks. Quick set once again by John Carroll, but a takeaway by the Spartans. And it's once again Larson on the hustle up the field. Slip pass into the box is taken away by John Carroll. And it gets sent up the field to Roseberry. Roseberry to Wanderley, has it knocked away before a long lead pass is kicked out of bounds by Winter. Winter coming about 25 yards out from the goal line to send it away from one of the Blue Streaks. That's a high risk, high reward play. If you make it, you're going to send it out of bounds and force a throw. And if you don't, you're going to be well out of position. And fortunately for Winter on that one, he was in position. Manastra will handle the throw in. Apostolides is back for the Spartans. It's good to see him back. He exited earlier in the first half. Looks like he identified a cut that had started to bleed after a collision with one of the Blue Streaks. He is back on the field. And the Spartans with it near midfield now. Gets sent over to Larson. Larson across midfield with a pass. Lead pass blocked by the Blue Streaks and dropped back to their keeper, Grobla. And he will send it up the field, but Washington's there to take it away for the Spartans. Washington works his way to the top of the box. Slips a pass to DeLakis. Shot and a score for the Spartans, as Lucas DeLakis, the senior midfielder from Vienna, Virginia, goes low left corner and rockets it into the net. Philip Washington will pick up the assist on the DeLakis goal. And the Spartans now with 18:25 to go here in the first half hold a 1-0 lead over the 24-ranked John Carroll University Blue Streaks. And the Blue Streaks are having a team huddle at the 30-yard line All 11 guys on the field in a conversation to try and regroup. This John Carroll team has not had to play from behind too much this year. They've shut out 4 opponents in wins and have a 0-0 tie on their record, as well as a 1-1 tie, and their only blemish an 1-0 setback to Kenyon. Another opportunity at the goal. It's knocked away by Grobla at the last second. Case starting to pick things up on the offensive end. Apostolides now with it. And the one-touch pass back to him a little too long. That'll result in a goal kick for the Blue Streaks, I should say, but a renewed sense of vigor for the Spartans, as they have plenty of energy after scoring the game's first goal. Grobla with it, teeing it up at the goal kick line, and charges with the left foot, will send it across midfield. It's headed sky high by the Spartans, and it will be controlled momentarily by the Blue Streaks. It'll be volleyed for back and forth now, and it will be handled by the Blue Streaks as Dylan Halm, the 5'11" freshman forward from Richfield Revere High School, draws a foul against one of the Spartans. Halm sends it across midfield into John Carroll's defensive side. And it's dropped back to Steven Samuelson, the 6'2" senior from Medina. And now it'll be a throw-in for Samuelson. This is his last touch by the Spartans out of bounds. The long lead pass too tall for Wright, but it's taken by Halm. Halm up the right side as it knocked away by the Spartans, and another throw-in will come up for the Blue Streaks, and it'll be Wright who will handle these duties. Wright with a good lob pass inside. It's headed away by the Spartans. Now kicked back towards the box by Case Western before it lands on Wright's right foot. He has a pass blocked, and it goes out of bounds, and now Wright will throw it in once more. Wright's long pass is headed out of the box. John Carroll still with possession. Shot attempt is high and well to the right of the net, to the goalkeeper's left. So that will result in another goal kick for the Case Western Reserve University Spartans. Coming into the game for the Spartans, Brandon Kim, wearing number 11, is a 5'11", 165-pound senior forward from Columbus, Ohio, and Worthington Kilbourne High School. Cook moves it up the field, has his left-footed kick deflected by one of the Blue Streaks, and now Wright will push Apostolides in the back, and that will result in a free kick for the Spartans. Just under 15 minutes left to go here in the first half from DiSanto Field. The Case Western Reserve University Spartans lead the John Carroll University Blue Streaks 1-0. And it looks like Winter will handle the free kick duties on the DiSanto Field logo. Well out of net. So he will send it high into the air and then jog his way back very quickly into a defensive position. It's volleyed back and forth by the Blue Streaks and the Spartans. And eventually it will be controlled by the Blue Streaks. As Halm has it, he drops it back across midfield. And once more, it is sent back across midfield, but the Spartans is there to stuff the initial rush attempt. Larson slow to get up after being the one to block the lead pass initially. Apostolides now with it. Drops it to Washington. Washington one-touches it to Delakis and back to Apostolides. Up to Washington now on the near side. Apostolides with the left foot. Long lead pass off of one of the Blue Streaks out of bounds. It's a throw in for the Spartans. Washington will throw it in. And now we'll track it down off a deflection from one of the Blue Streaks. And it's walked out by Washington. He thought one of the Blue Streaks last touched it. The official said otherwise, so it'll be a throw in for John Carroll. Three substitutions for the Blue Streaks entering the game. The defensive midfielder, a 5'10 junior from Avon, Ohio, number 4, Logan Brown. On defense, a 5'9 senior from Berea Mid-Park High School. In Middleburg Heights, number 14, Andrew Ruggiero. And on defense, a 5'10 freshman from Naperville, Illinois, number 31, Patrick Bohan. The throw in goes across midfield to right. He heads it into the air, but Larson's there to take it away for the Spartans. A one-touch pass over to Washington. He tried to lead it for one of his teammates, and it's rocketed out of bounds by the Blue Streak, so Washington will be on the throw-in. He gets it in, but the Spartans don't hold it long as Kim has it bounce off of his foot before Washington tracks it down. Now Washington fakes going to his right, goes back left, trying to drive into the box. It's kicked away by one of the Blue Streaks. Now the lead pass sent out of bounds by the Spartans, and a throw-in is coming up for John Carroll. 11:33 in, counting on a running first half clock, I should say. And it's a very nice throw-in. Goes about 20 yards down the field, but Apostolides draws a foul on right, and it will result in a free kick, which will be taken by Josh Cook. Cook with the right foot gets it all the way into the box. Grobla will track it down, have it bounce off his chest, scoop it up with his hands, and roll it with his left hand to his left on the far side of the field. Long lead pass, once again headed away by the Spartans. The Blue Streaks, however, will retain possession. It'll be Coleman who slips it up the sideline on the far side of the field before the Spartans send it into the scoring table on the field. So that will result in another throw-in for the Blue Streaks. So substitutions, both teams getting two fresh players on the field as 6-foot sophomore midfielder from Willoughby South High School, number 12, Luca Prangetta, and a 5'11 graduate student forward from Shorewood, Illinois, number 19, Patrick Koenig, have checked in for the Blue Streaks. And checking in for the Spartans, 6 foot 1 inch, 180-pound sophomore midfielder from Avon, number 18, Sean Wilson, and the sophomore midfielder from Torrance, California, number 27, Ota Kamaya, are in for the Spartans. Blue Streaks with possession. The Spartans will try to take it away, and they will send it out of bounds, resulting in a throw-in. And it will be Koenig who will handle those duties. He drops back into the 7th lane of the track to get a good running head start before he throws this ball in. He lost Offset into the box. It's headed away by the Spartans. Tracked down by the Blue Streaks, and now the Spartans will take it away. Good kick near midfield. Lands on the John Carroll defensive side before it goes out of bounds into the John Carroll bench. So it'll be a throw-in coming up for the Blue Streaks. 1-0 is our score as the Case Western Reserve University Spartans lead the number 24 ranked John Carroll University Blue Streaks. 8 minutes and counting left in this first half of action. 2 45-minute halves being played tonight as John Carroll look to get back to their winning ways after 2 straight ties. The Spartans also coming in off of a tie. They won their previous 2 games before tying Denison 1-1 on the road last Saturday. John Carroll had won 4 straight before their 2 ties over the last 10 days of play. So John Carroll with possession. It gets dropped back to Samuelson. Samuelson with a right foot has his long pass deflected straight to one of the Spartans. And Case Western will battle for and retake possession of the ball before sending it near midfield and over the scoring table on the field. That'll be a throw-in coming up for the Blue Streaks. The throw-in happening right in front of the Case Western bench. It gets deflected by one of the Blue Streaks before the Spartans send it across midfield, and now John Carroll will track it down once more. Good job right there by Logan Brown. He lost his footing, but he still kept possession. Now it gets dropped back to Samuelson, over to Coleman. Coleman will send it up the left side. Now along the far sideline. It's a good battle as one of the Blue Streaks posts up a Spartan and comes away with the ball. That's Prangetta with it. And it's last touched by the Spartans, so a throw in for John Carroll. It's sent away by the Spartans as the Blue Streaks were on the attack. John Carroll will retain possession at midfield. And it's Grayco with it, and his lead pass goes out of bounds. That'll result in a throw in for the Spartans. There's 6 minutes to go here in this first half of play. It's the Spartans 1, the Blue Streaks 0. The throw in is deflected into the Case Western bench area. And last touch by a Spartan, says the official at midfield. So that will result in a throw in for John Carroll. And before they can throw it in, they toss it about 10 yards up the field, and the official resets everything and says, nah, it's so fast. You got to go back a few steps. So John Carroll will oblige and throw it in, but it's quickly redirected by the Spartans. And now John Carroll will regroup with possession. Lead pass near the far sideline. Somehow kept in bounds before the Spartans will step in and take it away and send it down the field. John Carroll still retaining possession at midfield, sends it. It gets sent over to Bohan. He skies it towards the Case goal, and Winter will out-jump one of the Blue Streaks that was hustling into the box to catch it. And then Winter looks at his defenders, pumps his right hand towards the ground and said, we got this. Settle down. Everything's all right. Let's go. Long lead pass up the field to Kim. It will be deflected by Samuelson to Grobla, and he will send it out of bounds. So that will result in a throw-in for the Spartans. Checking in for the Spartans is number 14, Steven Villardo. He's a 5'11", 160-pound junior forward from Westerville South High School in Central Ohio, just north of the Columbus area. it's out of bounds off of the Spartans. That will result in a throw-in for John Carroll. And it's once again deflected out of bounds by the Spartans. Oh, they're going to say Apostolides was able to deflect that off of one of the blue streaks, and that will result in a throw-in for the Spartans. Washington handling the honors. It gets deflected and held onto thanks to a slide tackle momentarily by Steven Villardo before a foul is called on the Spartans, and that will result in a free kick for the Blue Streaks. Under 3 minutes to go here in the first half. It's Case 1, John Carroll 0. Both of these teams looking to get back into the win column. John Carroll coming off of 2 ties. Case coming off of a 1-1 tie at Denison. Bohan with it, drops it back to midfield. Brown touches it over to Samuelson, now to Coleman. Coleman up the far side of the field, has his lead pass deflected by the Spartans into the Case bench. The official signals that the last touch was by John Carroll. So Case with a throw-in. And once again, it gets sent out of bounds. This time off of the Spartans. It'll be a throw-in for the Blue Streaks. Under 2 minutes to go here in this first half. And the throw-in gets redirected by the Spartans. It gets headed up towards midfield. The Spartans will seize possession of the ball. Larson with it. Drops it all the way back to Washington, who keeps it inbounds. It's taken away, however, by one of the Blue Streaks. That's Bohan with it. Centering pass is once again controlled by the Spartans. And now they will work with it in their defensive zone. It gets dropped back to Winter, and he will sky the ball 35 yards down the field. A Spartan and Blue Streak go up for the ball, and the Blue Streak is down on the field after the collision. That will be another free kick for the Blue Streaks. And Greco was on the receiving end of the foul, and he will restart play. Plays a 2-man game before giving it up to one of his teammates. Now a crossing pass sent towards the goal is taken away by the Spartans. We play on. There were a couple of pretty good collisions there as Winter went up in a crowd and got sent down. He's still on a knee in front of the goal trying to catch his wind. And 2 other collisions. This last one, I should say, on the far sideline results in one of the Spartans, Steven Villardo, coming up a little bit worse for wear. And we're stopped with 30 seconds left in this first half. John Carroll will have a throw-in after we resume play. 30 seconds left in this first half. Good throw-in, gets the ball into the box. It's headed away by the Spartans. Controlled once more near the top of the box by John Carroll, but it'll be overrun and then sent out of bounds by Larson of the Spartans. Koenig trying to hurry. Throws it in to the box once more. It's headed by one of the Blue Streaks. John Carroll still with possession, trying to slip a pass back, and it's deflected twice by the Spartans. It will go out of bounds, and a quick corner kick will be punched out by Winter as the first half comes to a close, with the Case Western Reserve University Spartans holding a 1-0 lead over the visiting John Carroll University Blue Streaks, the number 24 ranked team in the country. We're going to step aside for the halftime break, a 15-minute intermission, and we'll be back with the second half of action for you right here on the Case Athletics website. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to DiSanto Field on the campus of Case Western Reserve University. I'm Matt Florjancic on the call of tonight's non-conference game between the host Case Western Reserve University Spartans and the visiting John Carroll University Blue Streaks. We're just about ready to get the second half underway. The Spartans hold a 1-0 lead over the number 24 ranked team in the country. And taking a look at the halftime statistics for you, Case has 1 goal on 3 shots. That goal belongs to Lucas Delakis. The lone assist of the half went to defender Philip Washington. The 3 shots, of which 2 have reached goal, were from Larson, Delakis, and Landefeld. Landefeld and Delakis with the 2 on goal. The John Carroll University Blue Streaks have 6 shots overall, 2 from Hayden Hafner and then 1 each from Jaden Wright, Nathan Manastra, Jack Font, and Dylan Halm. 2 shots have gotten in on goal, Wright and Hafner each with those, but Winter has turned away both of those attempts, while Dominic Grobla for the Blue Streaks has allowed 1 goal on those 2 shots. John Carroll will start the second half with possession, standing over the ball to send it away as number 10, Nicholas Grayka, the 5'9 senior from Du Bois, Pennsylvania, and Du Bois Area Senior High School. John Carroll in their road blue uniforms with white numerals and gold trim. Case in white uniforms with blue lettering and blue numbers. It's John Carroll sending the ball out of bounds, and that will result in a throw-in for the Spartans. Case switched up sides with John Carroll. Case now going left to right here in this second half, while John Carroll going right to left. Another throw-in coming up for the Spartans. They were just off the mark, and they'll have to drop about 10 yards backward before throwing it in once more. John Carroll with possession in the attack zone, and it's set across midfield by the Spartans. John Carroll will get possession back momentarily. Will be taken back by the Spartans and sent across midfield on another sky-high downfield pass that the Blue Streaks will settle under. It's Nicholas Grayka who will tee it up and send it across the field. And now pursuit from one of the Spartans forces a pass from the Blue Streaks. It'll end up on the foot of Penton. And now get dropped back closer to midfield before being reversed over to Daniel Kalick. Kalick with a centering pass and gets it right back from Nicholas Grayka, who's wearing the captain's armband for the Blue Streaks. Goes back to Kalick. He'll send it near side to right. Very deliberate possession by this John Carroll team. And now it'll be sent away by Cook, and it deflects out of bounds off of the Spartans. That will result in another throw-in, I should say, for the Blue Streaks. It's Wright who sends it down the field before it's taken by the Spartans. And Grayka with possession, drops it back across midfield. And it will be knocked out of bounds now by the Spartans. So a throw in for the Blue Streaks. It gets lofted into the box before it's headed out. Top of the box shot, blocked by one of the Spartans. And now play on as one of the Spartans hits the deck, aided heavily by a John Carroll Blue Streak. The officials let him play through it, and John Carroll will retake possession. And this one will be cleared out of bounds by the Spartans, resulting in another throw-in for John Carroll. Wright will be on the throw-in. Wright, a 5'9" senior from Lorain, Ohio. He played high school at Amherst Steel High School. It gets through the first wave of players and taken out by the Spartans before the Blue Streaks will retake control. And rocketed through the box. Nearly got to Wright, but it's cleared out by one of the Spartans. Grayka will settle over top of it, gives it back to Wright. He gets it taken away by the Spartans, but then gets it right back before the Spartans will take it. Possession one more time. That's Chala who sends it back to Cook. Cook in an absolute physical battle with one of the Blue Streaks, and that's Hayden Hafner who watches the ball go out of bounds off of one of the Spartans. That will result in a throw-in for Jaden Wright. And we have a stoppage in play. And the officials didn't like what he saw in the box, and now he's addressing two players, one from each side. Commence with the throw-in. Wright doing the honors, lofts it into the box. It's headed out by the Spartans. Wright with a lead pass. It's sent in on net, but the officials, well, the official said it stayed inbounds. Credit Lewis Roseberry, the freshman midfielder from Dublin Jerome High School, for keeping it inbounds and sending it towards the net, where Winter scooped it up and settled the troops. Slide tackle by Wright will result in the Blue Streaks taking possession on the far side. Now another slide tackle, this time by the Spartans, will knock the ball close to midfield, and the Spartans will take possession. Another takeaway by John Carroll. They're starting to ratchet up the pressure a little bit. Again, this is a team that's only lost once this year, and it was by 1 goal in the second game of the season against Kenyon. A foul was committed by the Spartans. A free kick is coming up. And one of the officials is addressing one of the players from Case Western Reserve, and that's a pretty one-sided conversation. It's the Spartans now battling to retain possession in their defensive end. They're unable to do so. John Carroll with it. A shot gets deflected out of bounds, and that will result in a corner for the Blue Streaks. It'll be Roseberry who will trot to the far left corner. 7 minutes into this second half. John Carroll looking for the equalizer. We're all about set for a corner, except for one small problem. Somebody had to retrieve a ball from behind the goal. And now that we have that problem solved, Roseberry will tee it up. quick stretching and then get ready for his teammates to settle in. And it's a crowded box around Winter. It's lofted with the left foot, headed out by the Spartans. The Blue Streaks trying to regain possession, and the lead pass just a little bit too far. Out of bounds, and that will result in a throw-in for the Spartans. The Blue Streaks will quickly take it away. It'll be sent back to Grobla. He one-touches it up to Coleman. Coleman with a long lead pass for Wright. He heads it, trying to get it past Cook. He'll get it back from Cook. Right foot a shot off the crossbar. And we remain 1-0 in favor of the Spartans. Now a foul is committed by Case Western just outside of the box. It'll be a free kick coming up for the Blue Streaks. Wright rocketed the right-footed shot right off the crossbar, and it took a Case Western bounce, but now plenty of trouble for the Spartans as a free kick is coming up for the Blue Streaks. Hayden Hafner with it. And it'll be sent over to Wanderley, and now the Spartans will clear it all the way past midfield before Grobla will send it across. Now it's taken away by one of the Spartans. That's Kroger. Kroger giving great chase against Greka. Greka changes direction, keeps possession, drops it back to Coleman. Coleman to Greka. The two captains on the field, I should say, for the Blue Streaks at this point. And good work by the Spartans to force the ball out of bounds, and that will result in another throw-in for John Carroll. It's maintained by the Blue Streaks, sent out top in the middle of the field. That'll be Wanderley with it. He'll reverse it right side. Good slip pass inside. That's to Penton. Penton withstands an attack, tries to slip it in the middle. One of his teammates slips, and the Spartans will get the clear out close to midfield. Good crossing pass by the Blue Streaks, makes it from one sideline to the other. John Carroll retains possession. And it's on the foot of Wanderley. Wanderley sends it out near midfield. One-touch pass over to Greka. Greka sends it right side once more. Now gets crossed into the box and kicked out by Cook, then skied by one of the Spartans before the Blue Streaks retain possession. Now the Spartans will get a quick takeaway. It's right-footed up the field, but Larson can't control it. And it's taken away by the Blue Streaks once more. A right-footed shot blocked, and that's going to be a corner for the Blue Streaks as Penton had a great look at it. Now Penton will head to the far left corner for the corner kick. Now Roseberry will head to the corner and tell Penton, hey, I got this. Why don't you head inside to the box? And he will do that. It's Roseberry with the left foot. It's headed out by the Spartans. In on that one was Delakis. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Blue Streaks. It'll be a throw-in for Case Western. 11.5 minutes into the second half, and the lone goal belongs to the Case Western Reserve University Spartans as they lead it 1-0 over the 24th-ranked team in the country, the John Carroll Blue Streaks. Sean Wilson returns for the Spartans as they get a couple substitutions. Now long clear by Case Western. And John Carroll will have to trot nearly the length of the field before Grobla will touch it up. It gets over to Roseberry on the near side. Roseberry back to Coleman. Coleman to Grobla. Coleman with it once more. Right foots the ball up the field. He gets it over to Penton. Penton got it to Wanderley, but it was taken away by the Spartans. Now the Spartans trying to work it into the John Carroll side of midfield, and they will momentarily, but John Carroll will take it right back. It's Grayco with it, sending it right side. Now it gets up the field to Penton. Penton with pass through traffic. Gets it to Wanderley. Wanderley trying to get it up the field, but it's taken away by the Spartans once more. And Roseberry will vent some frustration by stepping up in the passing lane and rocketing the shot out of, or rather the pass out of bounds into the John Carroll bench. That'll be a throw in for the Spartans now. Throw in deflects off of a couple blue streaks before Grobla gets it. Gets sent up the field near side to Roseberry. Roseberry up the near side with the pass. It gets deflected momentarily, but right back to the blue streaks. Now Grayco with it with a right-footed pass. Gets deflected straight up into the air by the Spartans. Comes down, missed on the header by both teams, and now Apostolides will walk it out before John Carroll seizes possession once more. Washington trying to track it down. Is taken away by one of the blue streaks. Right-footed shot towards the net, headed straight up, and Wright tried to take it off the carom and send it on net, but the Spartans were there to walk it out and get the ball back to near midfield. John Carroll not pressing yet, but they're playing very aggressively and defending that midfield stripe. Case not content by any means, but they are putting a lot of emphasis on the defensive end against the John Carroll University Blue Streaks team that has 15 goals in just 8 games. Better, nearly a 2-goal per game average. John Carroll with possession once more. Roseberry slips it to right, left side. Right, puts it on his right foot, gets it back to the top of the box, tries for a crossing pass. It's Washington who will then send it out and force the John Carroll throw in. Just a third of the way through this second half of action, and it remains Case Western 1, John Carroll 0. Looks like Wright will handle the throw-in duties. Long shot, and it'll be Winter who will emerge from the crowd with a leap and a catch of the soccer ball. He'll walk it back to the top of the box and then sink closer to his goal. John Carroll once again applying some pressure right there to make him make a decision. Cook sends it down the field, gets it up near midfield, where it's Brandon Kim will then drop it back to a teammate. Lots of contact, and the officials will let him play through momentarily before the Blue Streaks will be called for a foul, and John Carroll will get a free, or rather, Case will get a free kick off of the John Carroll infraction. A lofty kick goes across the field. Chala there, heads it to Kim. Kim left side. Gets it back, now drops it back to Apostolides. Back to Kim. Kim in the box with the right foot. Sends it on goal, and it's saved by Grobla. Grobla with the left foot. Sends it across midfield to right. Right with the left foot. Redirects it over to Hafner. Hafner gets to the middle of the field. Drops it back. This time it's to Wanderley, and he has a pass blocked out of bounds by Delakis. And it'll be a throw-in for the Blue Streaks. Right with the throw-in. Lobs it into the box. It's headed out by Washington. Controlled by Penton over to right. Back to Penton. Penton trying to give chase. And he will be out of bounds on the last touch. That will result in a goal kick for the Spartans. Otakamaya, the Torrance, California native, has returned for the Spartans. He checked in midway through the first half. Zach Fote has returned, as has Dylan Holm for the Blue Streaks. John Carroll with possession, and Fote fans on it as he went to put a right foot into it, looking like he had a clean lane at a shot, and the feet went out from underneath him, and the possession went over to the Spartans, and they got the clear, making John Carroll chase it down once more, all the way down the field. Coleman with it. Right foot's a pass over to Roseberry on the near side. Roseberry back to Coleman. Coleman sends it over to Greca. Greca with the right foot up the field. It's poked away by Larson. Now, one touch back pass is sent down the field by the Spartans, but Grobla steps out and redirects it to the far right side to Kalick. Back to Roseberry now on the near side. Roseberry with a left foot drops Winter all the way back to the far post, and he catches it out of the air. That was a heck of an attempt. I don't know that Roseberry was necessarily looking to score from that far out so much as he was just to make Winter work, but nearly accomplished both on that feed as Winter went a long way backpedaling to try and catch that ball out of the air, which he was ultimately able to do. Winter skies a punt down the field, and it's directed toward the goal the John Carroll Blue Streaks are defending. Now Case with a good pursuit offensively, and they will retain possession as John Carroll sends it out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in for the Spartans. Amir Uwaz, the 6'2", 165-pound first-year forward from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Shady Side Academy, has returned for the Spartans. And it's Case with possession on the John Carroll side of midfield, but the Blue Streaks quickly get a takeaway. Right with the ball now after a lead pass. Sends it over to Fote. Fote with it on his right foot. Sends a crossing pass to the right side of the field where it'll be controlled by Wanderley. Now another crossing pass gets it left side to right. Right tied for the team lead with 3 goals this year. Sent a pass across the field, and Case will send it out, forcing John Carroll to regroup. Once again, ends up on Roseberry's foot. His left-footed crossing pass is headed towards the far sideline. It is kept in bounds by the Blue Streaks. And that pass inside is deflected out by the Spartans, which will result in a corner kick. Roseberry will head to the far left corner. Roseberry with the left foot lobs it into the box. It crosses through untouched, and the Spartans will track it down. In the near side corner, it's taken away by Fote. Fote with the lead pass. It's skied out by the Spartans. And Fote quickly on it. And his pass into the box was stuffed by the Spartans, and they get the clear. The Blue Streaks now with possession once more. Good lead pass from Greka, headed towards the net, and it's over the net off the header attempt from Jaden Wright. And that will result in a goal kick for the Spartans. Winter tees it up, sends it down across midfield with the right foot. It's headed out of the air by the Blue Streaks. A foul is committed against John Carroll, and Case will get possession on the free kick. Good pursuit by the Spartans, but it's sent out by Case deep in John Carroll territory, which will result in a throw-in, and the Spartans quickly take it away. It's Kim with the steal. Kim walked it out of bounds, forcing another John Carroll throw-in. Case working the ball down the field along the far sideline, and once again it's out of bounds, resulting, or rather a foul I should say. It resulted in a quick free kick by John Carroll. They like to try for those quick restarts, but they'll be taken away this time by Chala for the Spartans. Chala slams on the brakes, sends a left-footed pass over to Uwas, now to Larson. Into the middle of the field it goes. And it'll be sent back to midfield, across midfield. It's Cook with it. He'll send it near side to Cameron Thayer, the 6'1", 175-pound sophomore defender from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It's down the field once again, a crossing pass, headed out of the air by the Spartans, and Grobla will come out of the net and make the catch before he punts it with the left foot down the field. Now the Spartans once again try to play it up fast. Good change of pace, change of tempo, I should say, by the Spartans. Content to drop back and play defense for much of this second half, as Kim has a shot that is stuffed and blocked out of bounds. And now you're seeing some frustration out of this Blue Streak team. It's 2 plays in the last 3 minutes where teammates have come up yelling at each other. This is a team not used to playing from behind. Kamaya with the corner kick. Maya puts the right hand into the air, puts the right foot into the ball. The bending pass headed out by Cook, and it will be tracked down by the Blue Streaks. Full head of steam on the pass. It gets up to right, but Washington's there to take it away. Wright works the ball near the sideline and gets kicked in the right cleat and then goes face first into the turf. That's a foul against one of the Blue Streaks. And Kamaya will tee it up at the 30-yard line, so he's 40 yards out from the goal. Kamaya's right-footed shot gets kicked out and then sent back by Cook. Control maintained very briefly by the Spartans, and now a goal kick will be given to the Blue Streaks. Groblau will do the honors as the Spartans last to touch. 17-19 and counting left in this second half. It's 1-0. Spartans leading the number 24 ranked John Carroll University Blue Streaks. Wanderley with it. Steps on the brakes, changes direction, drops it back, gets reversed to Coleman. Coleman touches it with the left foot, sends it back across the field. Gets it right back. Coleman sends it near side now to Roseberry. Roseberry checks up on the brakes. Gives it to Coleman. Coleman sends it back across the field. This is to Kalick. Kalick up the far sideline now with the pass. And that was to Wanderley, who drew double coverage from the Spartans. Lucas Delakis on for the Spartans. And it's Case with the throw-in. Big call here as the officials say that it's last touched by the Spartans, so a throw-in coming up for John Carroll. Roseberry with it, near side. Roseberry walks it right to the sideline, has it deflected out by the Spartans. Chawla last to touch, Roseberry will throw it in. Now he'll drop it back and let Wright handle the honors. Lofts it into the box. It's headed out by the Spartans. Now Greka sends it, and he splits the uprights, but it's high and wide of the net. Kyson Kroger back for the Spartans, and Winter will tee up the goal kick. Under 15 minutes left in this second half. It's Winter sending it down the field. Across midfield, it's headed toward the John Carroll goal. Coleman giving good pursuit, but the Spartans come up with it. Slip pass just a little bit too long, and now Groblau will control it. He'll send it over to the far right side. I guess drop back for Greka. It gets reversed over to Coleman. Coleman with the left foot gets the ball to Wright in the middle of the field. Wright redirects it, and it's controlled by the Spartans. And a foul is committed against one of the Blue Streaks, and you can see it from up here in the box. And one of the Blue Streaks had a hold of a Case Western University player's jersey, and you can't do that. That results in a free kick for the Spartans. Good pressure from John Carroll off of the restart. Case drops it back near side. It's touched up by Kamaya. Kamaya slips a pass middle of the field. And John Carroll will swarm to the ball and take it away as Greka comes up with it off of the work from Kalick. John Carroll can't hold it for very long as the Spartans and trade possessions along the far sideline. Roseberry with it. Near side, slips a pass up to Fote. Back to Roseberry. Roseberry to the middle of the field. Gets it to Grayka. Grayka sends it right side. It's touched up toward the sideline. Still in possession of the Blue Streaks. Collision near the goal line. And the officials let the students play on. One of the Spartans is down, struggling to get up, and unable to do so yet. And the Blue Streaks will try to take advantage. The ball actually hits the down Spartan, as luck would have it, and it's kicked out of bounds by one of his teammates. It's like one of the Spartans may have cramped up along the goal line. Logan Penton and Hayden Hafner have returned for the John Carroll University Blue Streaks. 12:38, I should say, left in the second half, and it's Case Western 1, John Carroll 0. Case Western came in on the heels of a 1-1 tie at Denison last Saturday. That was preceded by a two-game winning streak over Stockton 3-2 at home, and then Marietta 2-0 at home. Throw in for John Carroll, gets into the box. It's headed out by the Spartans. Now John Carroll heads it back in. And is once again cleared of the box by the Spartans. Right now with possession for the Blue Streaks. Right foots it toward the net, and it's deflected out by the Spartans. That'll result in a corner kick, and it looks like Coleman will head up to the far corner to handle the honors. He puts the right foot into it, or puts the right hand up in the air, looking to quick set the corner. Left foots it into the box. It's headed out. And a foul is whistled in the box, and one of the Spartans is worse for wear after a collision with one of the Blue Streaks. And we have an official timeout. Down the Spartan was Delakis, and he is back up near midfield. A free kick handled by Winter. The Spartans trying to control it, and the Blue Streaks will miss a header attempt. It'll be redirected by the Spartans, now controlled once more by the Spartans. Long lead pass, battle for it, controlled by Case. Now it'll roll towards Grobla, and he'll send it up the field with the left hand. It's guided in the air by John Carroll. Delakis with it. And now the Spartans will once again control it. Good cross-field pass. This one to Sean Wilson. Wilson to Challa, back to Wilson. Misses the redirect, and it's cleared out by John Carroll. But the Spartans jump on the ball down the field. It's there with it. Lead pass into the box. It slipped back to Wilson, and he goes lower right corner for the goal. It's a Spartans tally, and they double the lead. It's 2-0 in favor of the host, Case Western Reserve University Spartans. 10:41 to play here in the second half. Kamaya picks up the assist, and Wilson, the former Avon Eagle, puts it lower right corner to double the Spartan advantage. So another team huddle for John Carroll after giving up their second goal of the game. They now trail at 2-0. They've got an awful lot of work to do and not a whole heck of a lot of time to do it as 10:41 remains in this second half. Standing over the ball is Wanderlee to get things restarted. He'll drop it back to Greka. Camden Larson and Steven Villardo return for the Spartans after the goal. It's Greka with it. Jogged across midfield and slipped over to Wanderlee. Wanderlee up the field, gets it to Coleman. Coleman dropping it for a teammate, left it a little bit too long, and it goes out of bounds, resulting in a goal kick for the Spartans. Under 10 minutes to play here in this second half. Winter teeing up the goal kick. Sends it out just to midfield. Coleman with the header. Redirects it to one of his teammates. And coming out of the pile with it is Hafner. Hafner slips it to Greka. Greka up the left side of the field. Out to the top of the box. Headed out by the Spartans. It's still maintained by the Blue Streaks. It's Wanderlee. Then sends it over to Coleman. Coleman near side to Greka. Greka out top. Gets it over to Kalick. Kalick reverses it right side. And one of the Blue Streaks last to touch on the far sideline. It'll result in a throw in for the Spartans. Dylan Holm comes back onto the pitch for the John Carroll Blue Streaks, and returning for the Spartans, number 11, Brandon Kim. It's headed out of bounds and into the John Carroll bench. John Carroll, in unison, said, "Hey, that was off of one of the Spartans," and the official said, "No, it wasn't. It was off of one of your teammates," and we're going to give the throw in to the Spartans. They'll send it down the field. It's quickly redirected by John Carroll. It finds its way to Coleman. Coleman with the left foot gets the ball up the field. It's Fote with it. Fote trying to drive, has a double team, or I should say draws a double team from the Spartans, and Case Western will take it away. Now it's Villardo battling for it. He'll catch it on a redirect, then drop it back with the left foot before Kim sends it up the field. And Delacus with it on the takeaway. He's hustling down the field, slips a shot with the right foot, and goes wide left bottom corner. It'll be a goal kick coming up for Grobla, and he'll get it up the field to Kalick. It's over to right on the right side. Back to Greka in the middle of the field. One of the Spartans skies it across midfield over to Kim. Kim trying to give chase. It'll be redirected by Coleman. Coleman up to Kalick. Now back to Greka, and Greka will direct it toward the sideline to right. Back to Greka. Now across midfield it goes into John Carroll's defensive end. Over to Kalick. He'll send it near side to Coleman. Coleman one touches it into the middle, and it gets dropped back once again to Kalick. He'll send it up the far right side. Nick McCulick is settled back into the middle of the field for the Blue Streaks. Wanderlee with it. It gets dropped back to Kalick once more. Kalick sends it near side. Goes to Hafner. Hafner stutter steps around a defender. Gets toward the box, slips a pass into the box, shot on goal. It's a jumping save by Winter as Fote had a turnaround shot go high and get caught out of the air by Winter. 6:24 and counting on a running second half clock. The Case Western Reserve University Spartans being very deliberate with every action now as they have a 2-0 lead over John Carroll. Winter sends it across the midfield stripe where it's headed back by the Blue Streaks before the Spartans ultimately control it and loft it down the field. And they are going to make John Carroll work for everything down the field, as every yard that John Carroll has to run after one of those deep balls that misses a teammate is more time that ticks off the clock. The Spartans battling for possession near midfield. It's Delakis with it. He sneaks it up the sideline, giving pursuit still. And it'll be taken away by one of the Blue Streaks, but they will have to go nearly the length of the field. It's redirected and taken by the Spartans. Chalo with it. Chalo sends a pass left side. Now it gets to the middle of the field. Back to Chalo. Chalo with a left-footed shot, and it's a save off the redirect from Grobla. And it will get rolled into the corner, where it'll be a corner kick for the Spartans. Kim on the corner kick as it bounced off of a teammate before the Blue Streaks can send it out of the box. He'll be kept on this side of midfield momentarily by the Spartans before John Carroll gets a takeaway. Wanderley with it, sends it right side. Right with a one-touch into the middle of the field to Makulik. And Makulik drops it right back before it comes back to right on the far sideline. The long lead pass gets to its intended target and finds Fote. Now Greka in the middle of the field loses his balance, and the officials are going to say that was because he was knocked out of the air by one of the Spartans. And that'll result in a free kick for John Carroll. 3:50 and counting left in the second half. John Carroll looking for 2 goals in the inside the final 4 minutes to try and draw even. It's a good opportunity to get one here right now. Greka tees up the free kick from 31 yards out, puts the right foot into it, and it's headed into the back of the net for the John Carroll tally, but offsides is the call by the far side official, so wave off the goal. It will not count, and the Case Western will get a goal kick coming up. Winner with a long lead kick. Gets across midfield. John Carroll takes it away once more before the Spartans track it down. Send it back toward midfield. It's sent over to Greka. Greka now touches it up to Hafner, and it'll be cleared out by one of the Spartans. That'll result in a throw-in for the Blue Streaks. Hafner gets it in and gets it right back. Drops it back to Greka. And it's once again kicked out by the Spartans. A throw-in coming up for John Carroll. It's Coleman with it. Gets it in to Kalick. And a crossing pass headed out by the Spartans. Drops back to Kalick. Kalick sends it right side to right. Under 2 minutes to go here in this non-conference game as Wright sends it into the box, but it deflects off of one of his teammates and is walked out by the Spartans. As Falardo on the possession, gives it over to Kim. Now long lead pass is headed toward the sideline, but kept in. Now the Spartans will Sees possession, Delacus with it. And offsides is the call on the Spartans. It'll be a free kick for the Blue Streaks, and they get things started quickly. Sending it right side is McCulick over to right with a lead pass to Roseberry, and it's walked out by one of the Spartans. Last touch by the Blue Streaks. That'll result in a goal kick for Case Western. And we're under 1 minute left in this game as the Spartans look to finish off the upset of the number 24 ranked team in the country, the John Carroll University Blue Streaks. Winter lofts it down the field. It's across midfield. Volleyed back and forth by the Spartans in Blue Streaks before it ends up on the foot of Hayden Hafner. Hafner drops it back to Coleman. It's sent back up the field to Fote. And a foul against one of the Spartans will result in a free kick. And a yellow card has been issued. One of the Spartans came up and kicked the ball away on the free kick attempt. So with 24 seconds left, we have our first yellow card issued of the evening. Coleman gets things started. It's headed back out by the Spartans. Wanderly gives chase, keeps possession, steps around a defender, lofts a shot toward the goal, and it goes wide to the left. And that'll result in a goal kick. And the Case Western Reserve University Spartans have begun their celebration as they have defeated the 24th ranked team in the country, the John Carroll University Blue Streaks, by a 2-0 count to improve to 5-2-1 overall. John Carroll falls to 5-2-2 on the year. John Carroll has not won in 3 straight outings. Their last victory came on September 15th in a 5-1 win over Tryon at home. They have since tied twice, 1-1 against Ohio Wesleyan, and then 0-0 at Lycoming last Saturday before coming up on the wrong end of a 2-0 score here today. Case Western back into the win column. They came in on the heels of a 1-1 tie at Denison, which was preceded by 2 wins. So now Case Western has won 3 of its last 4, while John Carroll has now not won outright in 3 straight games. Taking a look at what's ahead for both teams on Saturday evening. The John Carroll University Blue Streaks will host Calvin University in their Morgan's Message game at Don Shula Stadium in University Heights. Kickoff for that game is at 6 p.m. and then they will get into the start of Ohio Athletic Conference play at Muskingum on Saturday, October 5th. Taking a look at what's ahead for the Case Western Reserve University Spartans. After tonight's win over the 24th ranked Blue Streaks of John Carroll, they continue the 3-game homestand against the Mount Union Purple Raiders at 1:30 p.m. on Saturday, September 28th, and then they will get into University Athletic Association play with their game against the New York University on Saturday, October 5th, with kickoff for that game scheduled for 1:30 p.m. Once again, the Case Western Reserve University Spartans, a 2-0 victory over the John Carroll University Blue Streaks. Taking a look at some final statistics for you. For the Spartans, the 2 goal scorers, Lucas Delacus, tallied in the first half, and then in the second half, it was Sean Wilson who scored for Case Western, and